Hello, welcome to Racing to Win. The racing must go on at Happy Valley on Wednesday night. We're going to preview it all for you right here on the show, but we can't go on before we go back and wrap up what was a huge week in Hong Kong. And what a week it was. A small wrap up there from Longines HKIR week here in Hong Kong. We're back at Happy Valley this Wednesday night. A little quieter on the racing front, but 9 races are still to preview. Joined in the studio today by Paul Alley and Nick Child. And Nick, some of your highlights from last week. Oh,
look, it's probably too many to try and list, Mark, to be honest. But I think some of those winners, of course, on the big day were superb. And win for Japan with Win Marilyn, but Romantic Warrior was certainly out of the box.
He was absolutely sensational. What about your highlights for the week, Paul?
Romantic Warrior was definitely the highlight for me, winning that race and winning it so emphatically as well. Win Marilyn, she wouldn't win any beauty contest, but she was brave winning the Vase as well. So good to see those two. And Wellington bouncing back, of course.
She speaks so highly of you too, Win Marilyn. Have we got any jackpots on Wednesday night?
We have. We've got 5.1 million going into the bin there. So should get up over 10 million. 10 million for a winning $10 unit. So not a bad jackpot.
All right, we'll have a look at the meeting details for you right now with a 9-race program. So a 6:45 kickoff. And we race on the B course. The 2 races we focus on, races 8 and 9. The Class 3 over the 1650 and the Class 3 over the 1200 metres. First up, though, it is race number 8, the Sand Martin Handicap. And we've got Can't Go Wong making his Hong Kong debut, raced under the same name for Kieran Ma and David Eustace. Master Delight's been back to the trial since 2 below par performances. Gallant Waking goes to the 1650 for the first time. Good Buddy, second time at the trip. Gallant Crown goes up £8 for his win on opening day. Prince Alex makes his Happy Valley debut. Enkento Prepared has a new home. He's moved from John Size to Chris So. Encountered wears blinkers for the first time. And Publicist was raced under the same name for Gay Waterhouse and Adrian Bott. Won over the 1400 at Warwick Farm and the 1600 metres at Wagga Wagga. Over towards the speed map now we head, Nick, for this. Good to slow tempo with Encountered likely to lead them up.
Yeah, he could well do, couldn't he? I mean, he's drawn gate number 3 now. Sylvester de Souza really does ride this course extremely well, and he's shown plenty of pace in the past. He hasn't necessarily led, but he's drawn well to go forward. So expect from a good draw, he can sit quite close. Good Buddy could be an interesting runner, I think, with little pace in the race. Wouldn't be shocked if Hugh Berman made a bit of use of him and went forward from gate number 5. And Publicist, look, he's a newcomer to racing here in Hong Kong, but he's clearly a talented enough type of horse, Paul. He was a 2-time winner in Australia, and he might show a bit of pace as well.
Yeah, he showed a bit of gate speed in his trials, as has Can't Go Wong, the other first starter as well. Little chap, Encanto Prepared, he might find it a bit tough. He's with a new stable now as well. He's with Chris So.
So those little legs might have to work overtime on Encanto Prepared. But we do start with an interview. Gallant Crown having just his second run for the season. Nick's had a busy day, show this afternoon, track work this morning, and here he is with Karis Teeton.
Karis Teeton, Gallant Crown, is a horse that you know extremely well. We haven't seen him for a little while, Karis, but he has had a trial.
Yeah, Nick, he's, of course, the last time I won on him was at Charlton, and he's been off for a while. But I believe he's a horse that wants to have a bit of time off and come to races a bit fresh. And he's been doing everything right in the trial, so I think he's ready to go to races.
How good did he feel in that trial, Karis? I mean, visually it looked very impressive.
Yeah, he's trialing really nicely. Of course, he hasn't raced for a while, so he's feeling good about himself. So I think it's all about him getting a right run tomorrow, and hope he run well.
You mentioned the fresh factor. He won on season opener meeting. You rode a double on that occasion, but he absolutely loves it round here over course and distance.
Yeah, the good thing about him, we can run in both track, you know. But I think he prefers the valley a bit more. So like I said, if he gets a right run tomorrow, the horse is doing well, so it would be nice to get him on board.
He's up a further £9. I guess that's perhaps enough to stop some horses, but what's your take on him going up that extra weight?
Yeah, of course, you know, from now things get tough when they start carrying a bit more weight. But like I said, he's a horse that's feeling good. He's doing everything well at home, and he likes the valley. And like I said, if the race run to suits him, I think he can be competitive again with that weight.
And great for you, obviously, to be back in action. Obviously, it's been very much a stop-start season for you, but I guess trying to build that momentum once again.
Yeah, it's very hard because, you know, to stop riding after three meeting in Hong Kong, you lose everything, like all the ride and everything sort of goes down. And it's good to be back, and of course it's gonna take time for me to build up again. But you know, I'm here. I've done it before, so I'm prepared to work hard and get quality ride again.
Karis, it would be remiss of me not to ask you a certain question after the weekend. Of course, bittersweet, I'm sure, but Romantic Warrior, what was your take on him? He was so impressive.
Yeah, oh God, I think he impressed a lot of people. We know he was very good, but we didn't know he was that good. He smashed them. So I think you know, last season I kept saying after each and every race he got better. After the trial race, I galloped him. I spoke to Danny. I said, this horse is full of confidence. I told James about it, and he was like, wow, are you sure? So he's what's good about him, he keeps getting better after every race, and that's scary because you don't know how far he can go now. So you know, he's gonna be an interesting horse in future. He's already an interesting horse, so I'm just glad I can get back on him.
I did notice as well on social media, you went round to see your mate. I imagine he was pleased to see you.
Yeah, it's you know, at the end of the day, Nick, I wasn't taking off him. I wasn't,
Yeah.
you know, there was nothing bad like that. I had some issue. Then of course they needed to book someone to ride the horse. So then he kept his word. He said I can get back on the horse. So you know, I was always gonna go see him. He's done so well for me last season. So it was just nice to sort of go and give him a carrot.
Very humble from Karis Teeton, but he did tell Nick off air that if he had ridden him, he would have won by 6. Gallant Waking Nick goes to the 1650 for the first time.
He does, and he's a very interesting runner, Mark, actually, this fellow. I mean, he's been doing good things over shorter trips, 1,200 metres to be precise. He's won 2 of his last 3, and second last time behind Gold Marquis, who's a decent type of horse as well. Going up in trip, I don't mind him, Paul. His dam was a 2,500 metre horse, so and she was quite useful in Western Australia.
Yeah, she won the Oaks, I think. But look, I've got him in definitely. I think going up is a good thing, as you say. And he's a 4-year-old, so he'll be looking at the 4-year-old series as well. So he needs to sort of start performing at these longer distancing.
And that was his graphic on screen there 3 times. Vincent Ho has been on board for victories. Now, good buddy, Paul. He's raced over the 1650 previously. It was a while ago in Class 4, and Zach Purton reported that night that he thought maybe 1650 might have been a distance that he wasn't suited by. He's a far better horse now, but he has failed and failed quite badly at the trip.
He has, hasn't he? So that's always going to have to be a question mark. He's been placed once from his 4 times at Happy Valley as well, so he hasn't won, but he hasn't been in this type of form that he does come here. He's been in good form at Charlton, winning 2 of his last 4. So I'm going to include him, but I'm not going to put him on top.
Yeah, I think there's a spot for him for sure, and he trialled well recently. I thought he hit the line nice and strongly.
And Dynamic Spirit Nick having his second start over the 1650. This is a 7th behind Exceptional Nice. He runs on. He's a 2-time winner over the mile in Brazil.
Yeah, look, he had a decent level of form there. To be fair, I mean, the jockey booking, I think, is most intriguing here. Zach Purton takes the ride. He's gone up a couple of pounds, this horse, but he did have to do it a bit tough this night, Paul, so I think he's worth a bit more on that run.
He's drawn a little bit awkwardly at 8 with him. Yeah, I'm happy to watch him. I just want to see what he can do stepping up in trip.
What do you make of Prince Alex? Paul has been here for 4 starts. He's won over 1,400 at Bendigo and Sandown. Comes to Happy Valley for the first time and no trials here either.
Yeah, look, he's been running a couple of fifths in his last couple of starts. He's been running on a little bit here. 1,600 metres was his last time that he raced. He sort of stays there. I just wonder if he even needs third.
He could well do. Look, he's obviously a decent enough type, nice type, but I think, yeah, the further he goes, the better he might be.
Some trials now, Nick, and counter blinkers go on. He comes to Happy Valley for the second time, and Publicist, who's had the 4 trials, the last 3 in blinkers, including this one, when 4th. The horse that wins this trial is Killandini.
It certainly is, and that's Publicist in the blue cap being pushed along late. Encounter's done it that little bit better, and he's got those blinkers going on, and I thought he trialled really nicely around Happy Valley with the headgear, and he's got a good draw, so there's a lot to like about him.
Yeah, barrier 3 for him. I think he's really well placed in this with the blinkers on.
Nice race, this view on no one's too, around a couple that'll be popular in the market with Gallant Waking and Good Buddy.
Yeah, I've got them in second and third. I'm going to go with Encounter, the horse we just saw in that trial. I think the blinkers have really sharpened him up. He has won in the 60s before rating-wise. He is a little bit higher here at 67. He did win off 63. But from barrier 3 with the blinkers on, I'm happy to go with him. Gallant Waking, I think, will be running on late. Good Buddy, coming back to Happy Valley. Gallant Crown, last time we saw him at the races, he did win. And that was at Sharton. He comes back here to Happy Valley, which I think he's better at. 9, 3, 4 and 6.
Yeah, going the 3 here, Gallant Waking, I think going up in trip's going to suit him. And he's a really progressive type of horse, this fellow, and I think he can certainly take the step up in trip in his stride if overcoming that draw. And Adios actually ran 3rd in that race last time. He's come out and won since. Gallant Crown, so a Gallant 1-2 for me here with this horse. Tony Millard, Karis Teton, goes really well here, goes really well fresh, and recent trial was very good. Good Buddy, I think, could be worth another go at this course and distance. He's a horse very much in form, racing very well, and Encountered with those blinkers going on. I think he can certainly play his part too. 3, 6, 4 and 9.
And that is the preview for race number 8. We're off to a break here on Racing to Win. The 9th is a good race, good field. We'll preview it right after this. Welcome back to Racing to Win as we preview Happy Valley on Wednesday night, a 9-race program. Race 8 before the break. Race number 9. Good field, an interesting runner returns at the top of the book also. It's a Class 3 over the 1200. That interesting runner is California Sybil, back from a pelvis injury. Beauty Tycoon's a last start winner, carries an extra 8 pounds this week. Naboo Legend makes his Happy Valley debut, but has trialled well at the course. No cheek pieces for his first look around the valley. Smart Idea, 3rd run back. Cofield comes back in trip from the 1400 to the 1200. Decrypt back to Happy Valley. It hasn't been his happy hunting ground. We've got Gummy Gummy, who was Calgary Stampede for Peter and Paul Snowden before arriving. And Jumbo Legend will wear blinkers for the first time. All right, so the speed map here, Nick. Pace good, 1,200 metres. Classy lineup for the Class 3.
It certainly is, yeah. It's a really nice lineup, in fact. And the interesting horse that you mentioned, the top weight, California Sybil, back in action. Now, we know he can lead and does like to lead. He's drawn 10, though, so he's going to have to come across the field here in the last. Naboo Legend, however, he's also drawn a bit wide and has shown a bit of speed in some trials. So those two might look to press on. Now, Beauty Tycoon, he's actually drawn well. He's been handed to the pace. Now, I just wonder if maybe Zach will just take any bad luck out of the equation and perhaps ride him prominently as well, because this wouldn't be the strongest of Class 3s. He might be able to boss them. And Gummy Gummy Paul is a newcomer, and he's drawn a good gate in 1.
Yeah, I think he can use that early speed, Gummy Gummy. Look, igniting is the query, isn't he? Because in the old days, he used to have all this good speed, and he's just lost it. He's drawn wide, barrier 11, so he might just have to go the back. Otherwise, he might be caught wide.
He was caught wide last time, so they might look, as Paul said, to ride him a little with cover this week. That horse is the focus for our first interview for the last race. It is Vincent Ho. He rides Jumbo Legend.
Vincent Ho, a Jumbo Legend, is your ride in the final race on Wednesday night. Tries this grade for the second time, but was good last time when carrying a lightweight.
Yeah, he's a bit slow out, and need to, keep pushing to keep his momentum going. it takes time to wind up last time, but hopefully this time with a blinker it helps a bit.
Yeah, what's your take on the blinkers with him, Vincent? Obviously, Casper's wasted little time in reaching for the headgear. Did you think it was something that maybe he was just requiring to help him along a bit?
Yeah, well, I hope it helps. He's a bit toey, but I think he needs that if we keep on running 12. But in the future it might be 1650. But at the moment it's still give him one more for 12 and with a blinker and see what's happening.
Do you think he can get 1650 this horse?
I think so. I think so. From what I felt last time, it seems like he needs the trip now. You get from the gate, he get slower and slower each start. So let's see how the blinkers helps.
There looks to be a slight sort of lack of pace in the race. In your mind, going into this final race on Wednesday night, do you see that as a bit of a hindrance for him, perhaps, or are those blinkers on just to sort of sharpen him up and perhaps get him that bit closer?
Yeah, it will be good to be a bit closer, especially with the gate. Don't have to be too far back, and need to go through a lot of horses. So yeah, we try to posse up a little bit. Hopefully the blinker helps, but surely not overdoing it.
Yeah, he does look like a nice ride for you. I must ask you, Vincent, obviously after the weekend, Golden 60, superb in defeat. I mean, it's a desperate shame he did get beaten, but I guess beaten by a very good one. What was your take on the performance? I guess you can't be nothing but pleased with the horse always.
Yeah, very pleased with the performance. Got beat by a neck, just that little bit. He did amazing. So he pulled up very well. Let's see how he recover and come back. We still got 1.5 months away until end of January for the next race. So, he should be able to recover well and let's see how his form is. But no doubt he definitely can be winning. Yeah, of course, 2 horses from Mr. Cruz is tough sometimes, but it ran well.
I imagine you'll be looking forward to taking him on again because let's not forget you.
Yeah, of course.
You have got the upper hand. It's 2-1 at the moment, so.
Yeah, no, I mean he should win because he still run the fastest session over the last bit, and of course the other horse got the advantage to be on the rail and always easier to dictate the speed or less trouble, so less trouble to deal with. But no, it's good to have challenge. Definitely Golden 60 can win again. Yeah.
Stewards Cup will be the next appearance for Golden 60, that race that Vincent was mentioning. We move on quickly, boys, to Beauty Tycoon, Nick, who's a last start winner. That's him on the outside there. We've also got Igniting. Paul mentioned him and the pace and having to sit wide. He did in that race, and the other one is Dragon Admiral, who finishes down the track. Yeah,
look, really like this winner, Beauty Tycoon. This was his first run at Happy Valley, and well, he's certainly shown us that he likes it round here. What I find most interesting with him, he's gone up to 73 now. He finds a race 64 to 74 rated, so they're a few points shy, Paul, of the top benchmark for this grade. So I think he finds another very winnable race.
Yeah, he's up 7 pounds. He's definitely the one to beat. He'll start short after that, but he did win nicely.
Off to the Chung Fa Trials, Paul. Now, California Sybil injured himself at IJC last year. Damien Lane actually rode him that night too, and he was led in very, very lame. He's had 3 trials since then from that pelvis injury. What have you made of those trials?
I've liked them, actually. Look, when he ran fresh, he got beaten a short head. He got beaten a short head by Namjong Singh's. His race as well. Look, the jockey there was looking around, and I thought he won really well. He might be overs in this race, so I'll take a chance with him. It'll be a good training effort, but I think he's capable.
Yeah, when they recover from that injury fully and all is okay, they can certainly bounce back, that's for sure.
And finally, Nick, Calgary Stampede was this horse's name when racing in Australia out of the Snowdon barn. He's had 3 trials since he's been here, won 1 from 7 in Australia. Listed placed. His name is now Gummy Gummy. Yeah,
he was a winner on debut as a 2-year-old, so clearly very precocious. I mean, he's still just a 3-year-old, and he's made most of the running, all of the running in fact, and shown good speed in this trial. So he's clearly got plenty of boot about him. Drawn one's going to be a big plus as well, Paul.
Yeah, look, he was pushed out a little bit in this trial, but look, he responded okay. He's got that early speed. He's drawn nicely, so he should put himself into the race.
That is a good report for the first starter, Gummy Gummy. Might have a number lining up at Happy Valley on Wednesday night, but you like the American French at the top of the book, Paul. California Sibley.
Yeah, California Sibley. He's on top. I think he can bounce back. He's a nice horse. This one very progressive. He did have that injury. Beauty Tycoon, the one to beat. Naboo Legend can bounce back from his defeat on debut. And Jumbo Legend with a lightweight. 1, 2, 4, 12.
Yeah, Beauty Tycoon for me. Really like this horse, and he was very impressive last time. I think he finds another very winnable race here, so we'll go with him on top. Over Jumbo Legend in for second. Don't mind him with a lightweight. Headgear goes on. Gummy Gummy goes in for third. His trial was good enough. Thrown this Cofield in for fourth there. He'd be much better suited coming back to Happy Valley, I think. 2, 12, 9 and 6.
There are 7 races before we get to the 2 we previewed here on the show. Paul, who are some of those winners in those first 7 races?
Don't mind Management Folks in the first. I thought the step up and triple suit him. Circuit Spiritanto's been going well. Exuberant likewise. Durham Star's drawn a lot better. Savvy Chic was impressive when winning last time. Happy Angel was a lot better run from him. California Deeply is probably the most impressive when he won the other night. And we've talked about the other 2.
And all of those are available on the website, hkjc.com at audio and video. Best bet.
Best bet time. Durham Star. He's drawn well. He's got to carry the weight, but he's shown he can carry it with his last 2 runs. Heading the line strongly. We'll take a chance with California Sybil. Currently at 16 and 5.5. I think he's overs for a good horse. And we'll do the play in race 8. Gallant Waking, Good Buddy, and Encountered.
Yeah, best bet for me on Wednesday night, race 5 to 1, Savvy Chic. Good last time, draws a gate. I think he can win again. And the long shot, good luck, race 3. Number 6 there for Derek Lung and Chris So. And the play, race 7, will go 2, 5 and 6.
Flying a Mojito, David Hall and Hugh Bowman. Hugh approves, that's apples, and has been a bit unlucky in 2 starts so far. Circuit 10 hasn't had too much luck. It's a £10 claim. Good draw for barrier number 3. And at the play, race 4, Durham Star, Happy Soul and E-Brother, who trialled up really well at Happy Valley, leading all of the way. That has been racing till we're Nick. A little quieter Wednesday night at Happy Valley, but then we're back to Shards in on the weekend.
We certainly are, yeah. Don't mind a quiet Wednesday at Happy Valley, and the action's always great there.
They're always good, and with Bear Gardens back in full swing now as well, which is really good to see.
It is indeed. So we will join you from Happy Valley on Wednesday night. On behalf of Nick and Paul, that has been Racing to Win. A reminder, it's an earlier start with the 9 races. The first gets underway at 6:45. We'll see you at the Valley.